Come on, quads. Come on, quads. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting on the floor right now and my tripod is terrible, so this is the highest it can go, so that's why I'm like in this awkward position, but thank goodness I'm flexible. Anyway, in today's video I am going to walk you guys through my glute routine, as well as discuss 5 tips or 5 mistakes I made when I first started growing out my glutes. And before I get this video started, I just want to say that I am not a professional trainer. I am not a coach or a qualified professional. So if this video is strictly for motivation and inspiration, although my form is like pretty good in most of these workouts, I would recommend you seek out another coach or expert if you want to know how to do certain of the exercises. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna walk you guys through my routine, and instead of just like sitting down and talking about the five tips, I'm drooling, the 5 tips, I decided to just like talk about it while I'm doing the workout, so you could be a little bit more entertained. That's it. My camera is dying right now, and my laptop, my camera's sitting on my laptop, and I have like a tripod because like it's a very, very cheap tripod and it cannot hold my camera, so I'm literally holding my breath so it doesn't fall over. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my vlogs. I posted a vlog a few days ago, so check that out. Yeah, and the lighting is fluctuating too, so that's why it's going up and down. It's sunny and then cloudy and sunny and cloudy and sunny and cloudy. But yeah, let's go.
Of course, I always start off my workouts by stretching and by warming up. I do dynamic stretches because it really gets my muscles just ready for all the extraneous activities I'm about to do. And I do dynamic stretches at the beginning of my workout and static stretches at the end of my workout. And this is bringing me to my first mistake I used to make when I started working out or started working on growing my glutes, was skipping glute activations. I honestly thought like glute activation were like useless for the longest time. However, like just like anybody, you don't really use your glutes for much besides just sitting down. So when you do glute activation, it really prepares your muscles or your glute muscles to endure these extraneous activities, and it straightens your glutes as well. The first glute activation exercise I'm doing is seated bended abduction, and I'm using a pretty heavy resistant band for this one, and I'm going pretty slow because you can feel the burn right after a few reps, and this exercise has helped me minimize my hip dips. About a year ago, I went to work super excited about all the progress I've been making with my weight gain journey and my gym and fitness journey, and I showed my coworker a picture, and she looked at me and she said, "Why is your lower glutes like that?" And I looked at her, I'm like, what? She's like, your lower butt is flat. And I was so sad when she said that. And I looked at it and I realized it was flat. My upper glute was very round, and then when you got to the bottom, it was just like a steep slope. And that's when I decided to stop neglecting my lower glute. And that is a mistake you should not make. Do the reverse lunges, do the hip bridges, do all these exercises that will also target your lower glutes, because there are different muscles and you should work all of them. My first compound exercise is hip thrusts. I always start off with hip thrusts because it gets me really excited for the rest of my workout. And as you can see, I'm using a shorter bar because I find it much easier to control the weight when I have a smaller bar and when I'm not struggling to balance out the longer bar. And this is my form. If you want to know how to do a hip thrust in depth, I would recommend you going to Dana Lean Bailey's channel. She's like this amazing bodybuilder and I love her. And she has a really great video on how to do hip thrust. So I'm not going to get into that, but that's what I'm doing. And one mistake I made when I started growing out my glutes is doing these like Instagram exercises I saw people doing. Most of them are like glute activations, and glute activations are great, and sometimes if you add like, let's say, a resistant band to it, it can tighten up your glutes. But if you really want to glow your glutes, you have to lift heavy, you have to lift weight. And it's not gonna get you bulky, girls, don't worry, it's not gonna get you bulky. You're just gonna be super strong and you're gonna have a great ass. So I would recommend lifting like deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, squats, hip thrusts. These are the main compound movements that will grow your glutes. Up next is standard deadlift. I'm keeping the shorter bar because I was way too lazy to change it. But yeah, so this is my form. My form has improved drastically because so when I do my deadlifts now, I turn sideways. I'm not looking directly into the mirror. I turn sideways and I check out my form because I usually work out by myself and I have nobody to check for me. So you could totally do that, but you still have to keep your spine straight. Try to readjust your stance every single time you do a rep, because if you go all the way through, you will lose your form and you could possibly injure yourself. So just readjust your stance every single rep to make sure you got it correct. I was dying at this point, but we're going to continue with some kettlebell swings, and I will superset that with some squat. My hands were super sweaty and I could not hold on to the kettlebell until I was complete with my set, but I would recommend using a dumbbell instead of a kettlebell for the squatting. All my videos are unedited and raw, so this is what my body looks like natural, with no filters, no editing, no professional lighting. Like you can see, I have cellulite on my legs and I am very content with myself and my body. And it's just a reminder to not be fooled by all these people who are trying to sell you this perfection or unrealistic standard of beauty. And if you are someone who is interested in starting a YouTube channel or wants to post workout online, but because you don't look like most of these influencers, you're like holding back, girl, go for it, and you'll be so proud that you did.
Step.
Moving on to my least favorite exercise, Bulgarian split squats. I got this tip from Instagram actually on how to get the perfect stance, but I still struggled. And my legs were kind of like giving out at that point, but I still powered through. Let's go. If you go to the gym by yourself and you don't have anyone to check on your form, I would advise you take a video of you doing the exercise and judge yourself afterwards, because I'm watching myself right now and I realized that my head was down and my spine was not straight. So this is something I have to be mindful next time I go to the gym, because I was honestly suffering and was not I did not want to finish it, but I kept my head down so I could power through it. But don't do that, and take videos of yourself if you're not too confident about your form. In order for you to grow your glutes, you really have to eat enough protein and calories. That is one mistake I made when I first started out. I thought eating rice would give me the same effect as eating chicken, and it is not true. You have to take into account your macros, which are the fat, carbs, and protein, and you have to tailor it based on your goal. And if your goal is to grow your muscles, you have to feed your muscles enough protein and calories in order for them to thrive and to grow. As I'm listening to these voiceovers, I realize that my accent gets way too thick. So in certain parts of the video, I said muscles instead of muscles. I meant muscles, but it came out as muscles. So don't mind that. Unfortunately, my gym does not have the laying down hamstring curl machine. This is the only one they have, and I honestly hate it because I find it super uncomfortable and I never feel it working as much as I do with the other one, but we're gonna work with what we have. So this usually ends my leg day, and then I'm going to do some finishers with this particular day. I did some more bridges and I also just stretched right after, and I followed up with some cardio, which I did not film. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I would greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to check out my vlogs. I started vlogging. So let me know what you guys think, and have a good one.